Hi, so I'm Iksha and I'll be giving you a little bit of information about the SATs, which are the standardized tests, which is attempted world over for applying to universities out of India, or maybe even in India if you're taking the IB preferably. So I have given two kinds of SATs, which is PSAT and the SAT. The PSAT is something that I advise every single person who plans on taking the SAT in the future. It's the prep SAT, and it really gets you ready with the rules that are supposed to be followed during the process of giving the test. Now, I gave my PSAT when I was in ninth grade. Now I'm in 12th. So, when I was in 11th grade, I decided on giving a SAT just to see what were my weak points. So, this is some things that I got to know from that test. So, there are four parts in the SAT. There is English reading, English writing. Then there's maths without calculator and maths with calculator. The English reading, which is the first part of the examination, is pretty long. It's about 65 minutes, and therefore, when you change from English reading to English writing, there's a 10 minutes break. In that 10 minutes break, you're not really allowed to talk to one another. You can hang out with one another, but you're not allowed to talk because you can discuss answers, and that's what the examiners are scared about. So you're not really allowed to talk to one another. And then when you start your English writing, which is not as long, which is about 25 to 30 minutes, you don't get a break between the conversion from English writing to math calculator. There is no break. So it is tiring. I would admit this is the point that you are tired of reading passages and all, and you just need at least a 5-minute break. But that's something that is not given by College Board. A College Board is the company that sends out the SAT papers every year. Now, as you have already done your English writing and math calculate together, there's gonna be a break, but it's gonna be very short. It's gonna be a 5-minute break. And again, you're not allowed to talk in this. You are advised to get some snacks with you, so you can eat it in the middle, so that you're not hungry or you don't get tired. And you're allowed to keep a transparent bottle with you, so cheating is prevented. In the examination hall, no digital devices are allowed. Either that's phone, laptops, or even smartwatches. When you enter the center, or personally for me, when I entered my center, the examination center, they actually had a box, and they gave us small slips, and they told us to write our name on it and stick it on the device and keep it in that box. So once we were done with the examination, we could come back and take it with us, and nobody else would really take it because everybody's devices were in there. So when you start the SAT examination, you have a 15 to 20 minute time in which the invigilator is going to give you some directions on what to fill in the paper, because in the first sheet of the answer sheet, there's going to be a lot of detail that you have to put in, which includes your name, your address, your ticket number, etc. So you are supposed to do that, and it at least takes 15 to 20 minutes. It's a long process. So before you go to give your SAT, you should be prepared for that. You should know your address, and if you don't, that is fine, because it is very important. Actually, it's compulsory to take your SAT ticket with you in the center. That is one sheet of paper that you're allowed to take. So you take that, and all the information is on it, so you can literally just copy from there and write it on your first detail sheet. With the admission ticket for your SAT, if you're an Indian, you're supposed to bring your passport. That's what I read from one of the guidelines in College Board. If you are in India, it doesn't matter if you're living in India and you're American, but if you're in India, you're supposed to bring your passport. If you don't have a passport, then I think you can really go and check it on College Board. But from what I read, from South Asia, you're actually supposed to bring your passport. Then you are supposed to have a pencil. They are not going to provide you with any stationery. They might be able to provide you with basic stationery like rulers, scales, etc., but nothing more than that. They're not going to provide you with pencils, because that information is already given on the admission ticket and on every form and an email that you have received before giving the SAT. When you get your answer sheet and you're ready to give your exam, you should know that the sheet of paper you have, it's actually a bubble paper, so you're supposed to mark in the answer that you think is right. You have just be careful. You have to mark it really well, and if you mark something wrong, you have to erase it really well. You cannot put a cross over it, otherwise the machine that's actually checking the answers will take it as an answer. So you're supposed to really take it off, otherwise you might lose points for that question. When you go there, the gates close at a very specific time. Your admission ticket will mention the time. They do not make any exceptions for anyone. I am sure when I went to my center, there were about 200 people who were giving the SAT with me, and I'm sure there were people who might have been late, because I live in Uzbekistan, which is near Russia, and that's the only SAT center in my country. It's a remote country, Uzbekistan. It's not so popular. My dad has been posted there from the military, so it's a remote place, and that's the only SAT center in the entire country. And the country next to us, Kazakhstan, also has centers, but those centers are full, so people prefer to come to Uzbekistan and give the exam. So we have Uzbek people coming in, we have international students like myself, and some Kazakh people who are coming in to give the SAT. And I'm sure some people would have been late and they were not able to give the SAT, because the SAT does not make any exceptions for anyone. Again, get your admission ticket at the center, otherwise they're not going to let you in. They need to see the admission ticket photo, they want to see your passport, they want to see everything. They want to see that you are the one who's actually giving the SAT. For the math calculator part, I would advise you to get 2 calculators and cells, because if one calculator doesn't work in the middle of the exam, you don't freak out. You always have a second calculator. And always get cells, because if it runs out of battery, you have the cells for that. Personally, the SAT experience for me was very stressful, because I had a very pathetic routine of sleeping late at night, which you should not do if you're giving the SAT the next day, because because when you're giving the SAT, you're reading so much, you're putting your brain into so many things that you would naturally get tired and want to sleep. So at one point, I remember I was just bubbling answers. I knew what I was doing, but I was just bubbling answers, and I was so sleepy in the center. So you should get a good night's sleep. Remember to bring snacks at the center. SAT is hard, but if you have prepared for it from the beginning, it's great. If you can give your PSATs, it's going to be a little better, because you'll be used to the process. If you have not given your PSATs, you should go online, or you should take tuitions. If you're not able to take tuitions because of some reason, there is a website. It's Khan Academy, and the Khan Academy gives you online courses, personalized courses on the SAT, and it can really prepare you for that. Actually, the College Board is in collaboration with Khan Academy on this, so that's going to really help you. But tuitions is on a different level. Tuition has helped me a lot in this process. So I'm in 12th, so I'll be giving my SATs 3-4 more times and see if I get a good score and get into a good college. Otherwise, be prepared for your SAT. Do not freak out. Get a good night's sleep before. Have a heavy breakfast. Don't have a heavy breakfast, otherwise you'll feel sleepy. Have a normal breakfast. And do not take your devices inside. Do not try to cheat, because the invigilators are actually very clever. They will catch you if you have anything with you. I remember where I was giving my test, this guy, he brought his phone into the center, and it was the end of examination. Everybody had given their examination, and I was packing up my things in my bag, and this guy just dropped his phone, and I just forgot about the rules, and I picked up the phone and I gave it to him, and he was leaving, and the teacher caught him, and his SAT was suspended, and he got a plagiarism act against him. So do not cheat. They will get to know. They take cheating very seriously. So yeah, that's all the details that I know about SAT. So all the best.